Yo, 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 what is going on? It's your boy, Adam at D123, coming at you with a brand new series, 0 and 16. Yes, 0 and 16 Jets rebuild video. This is going to be just the off-season video. We're going to be looking at the team as we're looking at our team now. You know, we got Mekhi Becton. The whole offensive line is pretty dookie. The defense, you know, we got some key players. We got Marcus May, some guys we can develop like Blake Cashman. We got Ashton Davis, Brian Poole. Not really exactly sure what I'm going to be doing yet, but looking at CJ Mosley, I can tell you that his contract is huge, so we may be looking to ship him out pretty soon. If not this offseason, the next offseason, just in case we need the help. We will keep him for at least 1 year, I'm sure. Then you know we come back to the offense. We got some key weapons that we could use for 1 year at least. We got Jamison Crowder, solid number, maybe not a number one wide receiver, but he is decent. Brashad Perriman, he has big play explosiveness, good speed. And these other guys we don't really talk about. Oh, actually, Denzel Mims, we will be looking to develop him. I will be moving him up to probably our slot receiver. Depends on how we go in the draft, because I do think I am going to be looking to draft wide receiver in the draft, and I have one guy in specific that I think will fit this offense just amazingly. We have guys with upgrades, however I'm not completely sure who needs a contract this season, so I'm going to hold out on upgrading them as long as possible. Basically, I'm going to force loss every game the first season. We're just going to scout a couple players. You know, most likely we are taking Trevor Lawrence. Well, not most likely, we definitely are. We got guys like Jordan Jenkins that I could possibly look to be re-signing, as he is somewhat young. Same with Terrell Basham. They are 26, but we need all the help we can get because we are not going to be a very good team year one. Quinnen Williams, great piece. I am looking to keep him as long as possible. Gerald McCoy, he is old. Maybe if he goes up to superstar development or anything like that, then we might re-sign him on a 1 year contract next season, but we'll have to wait to see. Looking at Gerald McCoy, just checking out his contract, just want to see what's up with him. I am not very aware of contract situations and stuff for the Jets. I'm a Patriots fan myself, and we are not doing very hot this year either, so it's nice though to be humbled for once. So he only has a 1 year contract though, so we might re-sign him next year. We might not. We might just let him go because depending on how much he regresses. Looking at Corey Ballantyne, he does have a dev up situation here, which is crucial. It would be pretty nice to get him at the start dev before he even plays a single game with him. I'm going to advance to week 4. We're not playing any of the games this season. This is just a season where I'm just setting up everyone's contracts, signing players. He does get the dev up, so that is sweet. And we are going to be doing the draft in this video, not playing any games. At the end of the video, we will advance to week 1 of the next season. And in the next video, that is when we will play our first game, which I believe is against the Dolphins. Now looking here, we do have a breakout quarterback situation, which is pretty awesome because, well, actually I'm not really sure about that one because maybe if Sam Darnold goes up to like superstar dev by the end of the year, then we won't draft Trevor Lawrence, but I highly doubt he will. We are going to scout a little bit right here. You know, Panay Sewell, would love to add him to the team. Obviously, we have the top 3 quarterbacks scouted, even though we're definitely drafting Trevor Lawrence. Gregory, he's an amazing player. I know he's going to be good. Patrick Surtain could be a great addition to our corners. You know, we only have 2 solid corners. One of them's a little old, and one of them's pretty raw. So we are definitely going to scout offensive line, as that is what we need. I think after this week, though, I will be just basically putting scouting on auto scout and just sim to the rest of the season and hope that it scouts me good players. I am pretty familiar with this draft class. It is the Bengals draft class. It's the most popular one. I'm sure most of you guys know about it. Also, I would just like to apologize if you hear my little sister crying in the background. It shouldn't be too loud, but you might just be able to notice it. I really am sorry about that. So as we look here, Denzel Mims doesn't get his upgrade. I'm pretty sure Sam Darnold doesn't get his upgrade probably because we're force losing every game, so obviously they're probably not going to get very good stats. We're not even going to look at their stats at the end of the year actually, because it's going to be bad. We're not expecting anything from this season. Looking at our contracts, we do have some key players that I do want to resign. I do want to keep Marcus May. I want to try to get him on a cheap deal as possible. He is 27 star development, but he does tend to go up to superstar development a lot, I have noticed. But anyways, we're just going to try to give him a 2-year contract. Obviously, he doesn't want that. What was I thinking? He clearly wouldn't take that contract. Brian Poole, I do want to at least re-sign him for a year or two. We're just going to give him the general offer, and he's just going to accept it. We do have a lot of cap space as the Jets. Frank Gore, love the man. He's old. He's probably going to retire after the season anyways. Brashad Perriman, I will re-sign. I do want to re-sign because I think he's just a big play, big body receiver that could come down in key situations with the ball. And even if we do draft a receiver, then he'll be a good depth option in case we have any injuries come along the road. This is what our settings is looking like. I'm just putting it on auto scout now just so I can sim the rest of the season. We might just advance a couple more weeks to try to re-sign some players, but that's about it. We have injuries cut off right now. Pre-existing injuries will stay off, but injuries, we will be putting injuries back on. And I will adjust the injury sliders a slight bit, but besides that, we will be playing on all normal sliders pretty much. I'm not the best Madden player, but I think I'm good enough. And I enjoy playing the game, so we will be just simming to mid-season just to see so that we can re-sign some players. You know, obviously we're 0-8. We are going to try to hit Marcus May with another offer. Obviously he didn't like the last offer, so we're going to try to raise it a tiny bit, see if he'll accept it this time. Nice, now he just doesn't like the bonus. Or was it the length? I don't actually remember. We are advancing to week 10 now. We're going to try to re-sign Marcus May. He's pretty much the main guy that I want to re-sign. All the other guys are a couple like Jordan Jenkins and stuff that I want, and Brashad Perriman, but Marcus May, I want him the most because he's probably our best player on defense, maybe even our best player on the whole team, let's be real. Except for, obviously, the rookie left tackle. But besides him, I can't really think of anybody else that would be valued more than Marcus May right now, at least just pure talent-wise. During the bye week, you know, Frank Gore's got to talk to us. You know, we're going to take the rest and relaxation. Got to get that +2 injury. It is crucial that you guys get the +2 injury on the bye week. And sometimes it's overlooked and you just want to sim past the bye week. But trust me, it is definitely worth it. And you get a +7 morale boost for your whole team. So now we are texting someone. Now we're going to try to re-sign again. Come on, Marcus May. 4th or 5th time's a charm. Who knows how many times it's been. I didn't even raise the price. Oh, but we got the deal done because we extended the year one. Now we're going to try to re-sign Brashad Perriman on a cheap 2-year deal. He probably won't take it. And he wants the duration to be a bit longer. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Thinking about how next season he's going to be 27 already, starts regressing at 28 with only normal development. Is it really worth it? Who knows? Jordan Jenkins, of course, doesn't accept our offer. No one else on this team is I'm really looking to resign, so I think we just sim to the nope, we sim all the way to the Super Bowl here. That's what we're going to be doing. So now we're just simming to the Super Bowl, and we will re-sign our players in the re-sign period in the off-season once we get there. Now as we get to Super Bowl week, we do have plenty of player upgrades. I don't think I'm going to upgrade them yet, however, or I'm just going to upgrade them all at once. Just kidding. So anyways, now we're looking at our team, want to see the dev-ups that we got, want to see how regressions hit some of our players. You know, everyone's losing in value right now because they're all mad because they just went 0-16. You know, that's kind of expected. It moved Chris Hogan over Denzel Mims, of course, because Madden always moves your players even when you don't want them to. And it looks like Gerald McCoy actually did go up to Superstar. So I might be looking to re-sign him. And Basham also went up to Star Development. So now advancing 1 week to the off-season. We're going to look at the retirements first. It's looking like a lot of names. Cameron Wake, I remember him. Delaney Walker on the Pats, that's odd. Julian Edelman, represent one of my favorite players of all time in the NFL, behind Danny Amendola. Yep, I said Danny Amendola. Looks like our retirements are Joe Flacco and Frank Gore. Two pretty obvious ones, not really surprised there. Big time decisions. We got a couple players that I'm looking to re-sign. Looks like I'm going to try to re-sign Brashad Perriman, give him $4 mil. Oh, 3.8 mil. And he will re-sign with us. Patrick, we are going to decline him. We're pretty much going to decline all of these guys. Jordan Jenkins, we do want to re-sign him. However, I do not know if he's going to accept this offer. He doesn't accept the offer, of course, so it's like we're not going to re-sign Jordan Jenkins. However, we will re-sign Basham, as he did go up to Star Development. Obviously, he's probably not going to be a player for the future, but it's nice to have someone with Star Development that could maybe develop a little bit just to have some depth, even if we do end up drafting someone over him. Gerald McCoy's an interesting one. The more I think about it, the more I don't want to re-sign him, because we could probably get someone in the draft, or we can get someone in free agency for just as cheap that's younger. Frankie Louvu, kind of a big fan of him. He's only 24 years old, 70 overall. He has a chance to develop just one dev up, or maybe 2 dev ups to superstar, and he is set. We will just re-sign our kicker that we have, just because he has 95 kick power. And that is pretty much what matters the most in Madden, so definitely not franchise tagging Jenkins, I can tell you that much. Okay, advancing to free agency stage 1. Let's see who's in the free agency. We got Rob Gronkowski, Philip Lindsay, Marcus Williams. That's an interesting one. Could be looking to sign him. I know we have Ashton Davis, but Marcus Williams is a game-changing player. Jayon Brown's also an interesting one, but I think I'm going to keep CJ Mosley for 1 more year and end up drafting somebody or signing somebody in the next free agency. Jonnu Smith. Now, Jonnu Smith is an interesting one. We do need tight end. Tight ends are very hard to draft, so I think I'm going to give Jonnu Smith an offer. 98 total points. Looking at quarterbacks. Don't know why I'm looking at quarterbacks. Halfbacks, we do need a running back. However, I think I'm going to try to attack running back in the draft. Although Cordero Patterson is an interesting one, because he can be nasty out of the backfield and on kick returns. And Darius Guice, Jalen Richard's decent. Yeah, none of these guys really interest me, so Cordero Patterson, we're going to give him a really, really low ball contract. He is probably not going to accept it. Yeah, 39 points. There's literally no chance. I think that we aren't going to sign anyone else, but I'm going to take one last look. Oh yeah, Marcus Williams. Only 24 years old, star development. 89 speed's not the best, but he's a really solid player. And he could be our franchise free safety for the next 5 years if we re-sign him. We still have 41 million cap room. We give him a pretty decent offer. I just don't want him to decide to go to the Bucks. I mean, not the Bucks, the Dolphins, because that would kind of suck. We are going to offer Bud Dupree, I think. Definitely not a 5-year. Okay, we did offer him a 5-year. Don't know why I did that. 28 years old, 5-year deal. Probably not the best decision I've made. This is a post-com. This is my first ever video, pretty much, so I decided to do a post-commentary. I am going to also try to sign Jayon Brown. And we're going to advance the week. Let's see who we get. So we got Johnny Smith accepted, rejected, and we got Marcus Williams. So we got the main two guys that I wanted, which is the good thing. Now looking at the team, looking at possible sorry, little yawn there. Looking at possible positions where we could sign someone. Outside linebacker is definitely questionable. Honestly, the defense isn't looking absolutely terrible besides outside linebacker and maybe left end and D tackle. And our third corner, may look to draft a third corner. I don't know yet. I think I am going to be starting Blake Cashman at the #1 spot. He will probably be the guy that I use for most of the season, as he's got fascinating 91 speed at middle linebacker that is just glitchy. 90 speed and up, really 88 speed and up at linebacker is amazing. You can't really ask for much better. Looking at the available free agents, not really anyone there. Maybe a running back, maybe Cordero Patterson, but it is not looking very good. I was thinking about Jamal Williams. I do like him, but the Raiders paid him a hefty offer, and I think I'd rather just draft somebody. David Johnson at a 77 overall. Remember when he was one of the best running backs in the league? Crazy how fast running backs fall off. It's actually pretty crazy. 5th-year option, Sam Darnold. We are not going to give Sam Darnold his 5th-year option, as we are trying to draft Trevor Lawrence. Advancing into stage 4. Now we're advancing to the draft. And we are going to be starting the draft. This is when things get interesting. We have the #1 pick. I'm just going to pause it so I have no stress to pick as fast, although I already know who I'm going to take. And that is your boy, Trevor Lawrence from Clemson. 21 years old, 80 overall, hidden development, 94 throw power, amazing accuracy stats, 83 speeds, even pretty decent. He is going to be our franchise quarterback for probably the entire series. Actually, I am most likely sure. Next, Jags take Justin Fields. Good pick for them. Redskins, football team, takes Zach Wilson.
The Buccaneers are now on the clock.
The Dolphins do take the left tackle I wanted. There's Gregory going. Micah Parsons, amazing player. He would have been a good draft pick. The Falcons taking Jamar Chase is definitely interesting. We're just going to advance to our pick now, and we're going to see who's there. Now here I'm either looking to take a wide receiver, O-line, or running back. There are definitely a lot of interesting players. However, looking at it, there's a lot of late wide receivers we could draft. We don't need to rush to draft a wide receiver right now. Now, these two running backs I do like. Najee Harris, kind of slow, but amazing power. And Travis Etienne, a little bit faster. He's probably overall the better player, I would say. We've got a solid 2nd round left guard that we can take. So honestly, looking at all my options, weighing them all out, it seems like I am probably just going to draft Travis Etienne. Or, nah. This guy looks pretty decent. Late first rounder. Late first rounder. This is the 13th pick. Dylan Moses. Now, Dylan Moses is very tempting. However, middle linebacker is not necessarily a very big need of ours. So I think I'm just going to draft Travis Etienne. And yep, yeah, Travis Etienne, that is who I am going to go with. And he is a 74 overall.
The Broncos are now
74 overall, 92 speed. He's just a really all-around solid player. And he's going to develop, bearing he doesn't get injured or something like that. Now we're just going to be advancing to our next pick. Now with this pick, I think I'm going to either go offensive line or wide receiver. There is one wide receiver that I am really interested in, and that is not Terrace Marshall Jr. I was just looking at him, but actually Rondale Moore, the speedster. I think that he's the perfect player for Trevor Lawrence. This left guard also looks very good. So right now I'm either thinking Rondale Moore or the left guard. Just checking out all the other offensive line positions, see what there is, see where the depth is in the draft. And I think the left guard is what we're going to take. 73 hidden, 22 years old. Amazing player. He's going to be day one starter, possibly, well, most definitely our starting left guard for the rest of the season, unless we end up moving him to right guard or something like that.
The Jets are now on the clock.
Now coming into the third round, I am definitely looking to draft wide receiver. And as you can see, Rondale Moore is still there. Amon-Ra St. Brown is also another great guy, but Rondale Moore with that speed, how can you pass up on it? 4.34 speed. He's going to be a great weapon for Trevor Lawrence and his 94 throw power. 72 overall hidden dev. Let's see. 95 speed, 97 excel. His release is kind of low and his catching is not the best. I was expecting his speed to be 96 or 97 maybe, but 95 speed you can't complain about. I'm sure, hopefully, we'll be able to get speed upgrades for him in the future. Now we go to our third round draft pick. Pick 13. And honestly, auto scouting sucks. At this point in the draft, there's not really anybody worth picking, I feel like. Asante Samuel, he really doesn't look that great. Although, his dad, loved his dad. RIP him dropping that pick though against the Giants. That haunts me every day. So looking at the rest of the players, looking at the offensive line, we have no scouted left end or right end, of course. So it's looking like Darius Stills is probably going to be our pick here. He just seems like the best available that we have scouted. I am going to check another couple other people. Baron Browning does look kind of solid. We do need outside linebacker. However, we also do need D tackle because we lost Gerald McCoy. So we do take Darius Stills, 68 overall, but he is hidden development, which is clutch. He's not the strongest. He's got decent speed. Maybe we could even consider moving him over to end because maybe he's just not the best fit at D tackle. Now advancing to our next pick, which is fourth pick 1, we are either going to try to take a center, offensive lineman I mean, or we are going to take Baron Browning, who looks to be decent, because we do have weaknesses at outside linebacker we are aware of. Trey Hill, center, could be a starter. I'm not sure how good he is. Baron Browning, excuse me, could also be a starter on defense. Our outside linebackers are pretty bad. We do
The
take Baron Browning.
Jaguars are
He
now
is
on the
only
clock.
normal development, 68 overall, but he has 86 speed, which is decent. Very raw player, but honestly, with our outside linebacker situation, we might as well start him just to get him the experience and get him the try to dev him up.
The
Because there's no
Jets
one
are
better
now on the
to
clock.
start over him. Looking at our next pick, we do want to see the center still there. Unfortunately, the center we wanted, we did not get him. We were not able to get the center. So looking at it, I mean, honestly, who are we going to draft? There's not really many good players to draft. I know Charleston Rambo's decent. Shout out Jerome PKR. He is the guy that inspired me to do my own series. I mean, I'm just looking at for any steals, maybe not really any good players to take. So going back up, I think we are just going to take the best available. We do look at Chase Lucas, but he is 24 years old. Oh,
The Jaguars
but we
are now
take
on
him
the clock.
anyways. I think that I accidentally clicked that, if I'm not even going to cap. And he is not very good. So that was probably a waste of a pick. However, we also have the 8th pick in the 5th round.
The Jets are now on the clock.
Now with this pick, I'm sure of it. I'm sure we are going to take Seth Williams. Just the best available. Why not take him? He is pretty slow.
The Bears are now on
Normal
the clock.
development 68 overall, and he is really slow. However, we might look to move him to tight end. He is pretty big, 6'2", 224, wide receiver. Might be able to move him to tight end. Don't know where else he would have a possibility of fitting on the team. He would be our backup tight end, as we already have Jonnu Smith.
The Jets are now on the
Moving
clock.
to the 6th round. Now here I'm pretty sure I'm going to take a fullback. We don't have a fullback on the roster. I love my fullbacks. Fullbacks are very underrated in Madden. I scrolled all the way past all the positions because I'm a dummy. Available, we're just going to take the best available. We don't have any of them scouted, just going to take the guy with the best combine. TJ Bryant,
The
66
Jaguars
overall,
are now on the clock.
81 lead block, and I believe 86 speed, or 85 speed, which is definitely solid. I love running plays where the fullback's ahead of us and
The
blocks.
Jets are now on the clock.
I just think that they are very crucial, especially on play action rollouts when they slip out of the backfield sometimes. People don't expect it, they don't see it coming, so they leave the fullback wide open on accident. Now here we're taking Gene Dangus. Now anyone
The
that's used this draft
Jaguars
class
are now on the
before,
clock.
you know Gene Dangus is the GOAT. Superstar, punter, good throwing stats, good speed, only 81 kick power, but he does get focus kicker once his dev is unlocked, so the kick power might just be worth it. We are going to try to use him in key situations, maybe where we have to fake a punt every now and then. Maybe not very often, but maybe, you know, it could be fun. He's an interesting player, you know. Now, looking at our draft recap, our players do look great. I think our draft was pretty solid. Usually I would just look at their developments. Obviously Trevor Lawrence is either superstar or superstar X Factor, but I think this time around I'm just going to discover them as they get unhidden. Now I do want to look at that center that we missed on, just to see if we missed on anyone big. If he has hidden development, then I'm going to be very upset, as we took Baron Browning over him. So looking for him, Trey Hill, there he goes. He goes to the Raiders. He is only normal development, 67 overall, and he is not very good. So I think Baron Browning in the end was definitely the good pick. Now looking at our team, just want to check our lineup, set our lineup. And we will be moving Rondo Moore into the slot. We will be moving Denzel Mims up to the number 2 wide receiver, and we will be moving Brashad Perriman down to the number 4 wide receiver, as I want Rondo Moore and Denzel Mims to get the playing time. I'm going to keep Jamison Crowder at number 1 at least for this season, just to have one pretty solid guy, reliable guy that we can have. The offensive line clearly still looking rough, but besides that, I mean, really, our team's not looking that bad. We will be starting Baron Browning over Frankie Louvu. I'm not sure Yes, we will put our starting D tackle, I think, our rookie guy. We will start him, I think. We might even move to a 4-3 or a 3-4 so that we have 4 defensive linemen. And basically that is going to be it for this episode. We will be advancing to week 1 just to see who we play, and just looking at the depth chart, looking at our wide receivers. I was going to move our rookie guy with 86 speed to tight end, but I'm an idiot. You can't do that in the depth chart. You have to do it in the roster. So I just kind of gave up on that pretty fast. I will just do it off camera. He'll be at tight end for the next video probably. I'll let you know what his overall looks like. Don't want to sim 10 years. Done that on accident one time. Terrible mistake. Now we're just going to be advancing to week 1. As we can see, we play the Dolphins. I will be cutting injuries on. I will cut the injury sliders down a tiny bit just so injuries aren't crazy. I'll move them up as the season goes, maybe if nobody's getting injured and stuff. And that is it for this episode. Next episode will be our first game against the Dolphins. Definitely a winnable game. Trevor Lawrence versus Tua should be a good game. Adam at D, 1, 2, 3, out.